Ready? Yeah. So yeah, that's it. We're back now.
No, we was meant to clap.
Couple of little. Yeah, we're gonna clap in a second.
Just ready, man.
Warm up to it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So we're back, people. Another technical difficulties, but we're here. 3, 2, 1. All right. We are back. Egos at Risk podcast. No starter this time. Catch us on Instagram at Egos at Risk. Go follow the page. Yo, introduce yourself, brother.
You forgot about the YouTube, my guy.
The YouTube.
Yeah, the YouTube.
You know
we're on there now, blood.
Oh, we're on there.
Yeah.
What's the YouTube, bruv?
The Egos at Risk.
Egos at Risk. Oh, it's catchy.
Standard.
It's as if it's the same.
Standard. It is the
Egos
same
at
thing, but we have to just let them know.
Egos at Risk.
Plain and simple, innit?
You know what I mean?
It's the same name that it is on Instagram, that it is on YouTube. Mad.
You know, but they might not know it's on there. There's even the SoundCloud.
The SoundCloud. Mad. Same name, is it? Jeez.
Yeah. Surprisingly.
Who came up with that idea?
Boy, geniuses. Yeah.
Cool.
But like my man said, you're in tune with Egos at Risk.
Egos at Risk podcast. Come on.
And my name is Free Mind Son, aka Kirky T, Kurt Tom. I would have said Thomas, but that's a bit formal and it's a dry name. You know what I'm trying to say? But there used to be Thomas the Tank Engineer. That was the one I used to use. If you catch me, yeah, the fat controller. You know what I'm saying? But the missus said, yo, I need to retire that one day, you get me?
Why?
It's a bit too mad.
Mad. I like that.
Because the fat controller means a lot of stuff, lad. You know what I mean? But I lost my head the other week. You know what I mean? So I'm not controlling nothing. So I can't even hold them titles there, you get me? I got relegated. Yeah. And we have a guest today, a female guest. She's the first lady to be on Egos at Risk ever.
Thank you.
First, not the last. Not the last. We're open community.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
equal rights and that.
Introduce yourself.
Hello. I'm Zara Lee, also known as Zara, or as you'll find me on Instagram, Lady Zara Lee, or at DTM Healing _. That's it.
I felt like there's more.
No.
Yeah, I was waiting for like.
No.
I don't know if I was waiting for like an email address. I don't know.
No, sorry.
To be fair, I didn't even do my ones there. At Free Mind Son, all socials. No, I just said that? My name is Free Mind Son, but I never said at. You know what I'm trying to say?
Go find the kid.
You know what I mean?
And I am Coach Calvin. You can find me on Instagram at official Coach Calvin. Yeah, that's my socials. TikTok coming soon. YouTube coming soon. All that's coming soon. And
again, if you want to see him in live action, like go and check out Deji's first fight. God is great.
He's great. Can't argue with that.
But today's subject, we're gonna be talking about relationships, man. You know that juicy stuff.
Oh, it could get techie in here, you know.
You know,
get techie, get real techie. You know
like, what's your definition of a healthy relationship? What's the most important elements of that? What do you lot think? So we're gonna I don't know, ladies first.
Oh,
ladies first. Yeah.
Aye, that's cold.
Gentlemen.
Hey, ladies first.
Cool. I'll go. My definition of a healthy relationship is good communication.
Ooh.
I think that is the most important and vital part of it. Because other than that, there's no point in having the relationship. And then I think after that comes along respect, honesty, and the loyalty part. After that, just don't bother.
You put loyalty quite low down.
Yeah, I did.
I'm just highlighting that. I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying you put loyalty down, so like they communicate that they cheat. Is that cool?
No,
okay.
But
communication is key.
Communication is key. I may not agree with the fact that you cheated.
Yeah.
But there's open conversation then, innit? To understand why.
Is there?
There can be.
So when I say is there, I'm not really asking about like the general population. I'm more you, like more your
Yeah,
stance.
I'm not
on it.
gonna lie. I have cheated.
You've cheated.
Yeah, I've cheated.
Hey, all right, cool. All right. We're having that conversation. All right, no.
I have cheated.
No, that's
and
cool.
I've been very heartless about it.
You've not given a flying fuck.
No,
All
I
right.
didn't. I was quite cold.
Being so heartless.
Oh my days.
I was quite cold about it.
I love the honesty though.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
I love the honesty.
I actually thought that we was gonna have some. I don't know. I didn't know what we were
Mundane,
gonna have.
dry, like.
Hi everyone, Egos at Risk podcast. Blah, blah, blah. No, straight in there.
To be fair, what's the
Straight in.
point though? If you're not going to be honest about it, then what's the point in having the conversation? The reality is, yes, I've cheated. I wasn't faithful, and I was cold about it.
I'm still
You stunned.
flabbergasted.
We got 2 weeks in a row, man. Got stunned. You know.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure
Thank
out
you.
what
It's cool, but like, I'm not going to sit here and say I haven't had it done back to me.
Yeah,
and when
yeah,
it was
yeah.
done back to me, that hurt like a bit.
See, the funniest thing is, I was expecting you to say, I have been cheated on. I wasn't expecting you to be like, I have cheated.
I'll hold my hand up and I'll say that I was the cheater in the beginning.
In the beginning,
Yeah.
God said, let there be cheating. It's mental. So wait,
Wait. Before we're gonna pause that because you ain't even given your definitions right now. You get me? And then we're gonna go back round.
I don't
'Cause
care,
we can go
bruv.
too far.
I'm here right now.
Just relax.
I'm here right now.
Relax.
Oh, bro.
I threw you off in it.
I'm here right
relax,
now.
Relax, like
I'm in this right
Yeah?
now. All right, look. Okay, what's my definition? First and foremost,
he's lost his head.
No,
He's lost his head. He's gone.
I like the realness.
I hear
the
that.
realness. I
no,
like
we're gonna
it.
do that. Like, you can't just give them the juicy stuff straight away,
Aight,
my
cool.
guy. Look, she already threw the bomb, like bang in it. Let them settle. Let the dust settle a bit.
All right, cool.
We see who's alive. You know what I mean? We see like your Harley's there.
Hey, listen. My definition of a healthy relationship, is the ability to be yourself around someone. You know, be around your partner. Just if you're able to be yourself, then you shouldn't have any problems. You know, I feel like a lot of problems come from when you're trying to be something that they want or what you think someone wants. So communication is key, but communication is key, but the communication is within yourself. So if you're not communicating with yourself, then your whole thing's going to be off. So there's nothing that you're going to be able to do outside properly.
Yeah.
So that's what I agree. When you say communication, it's like, yeah, it's massive.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
that was
massive.
one of my things as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, that's the first one that literally
I
that
think
that
that's
slogan.
everyone's first bit though, isn't it? It's like communication is key.
That's when you've been through stuff.
Yeah.
I would have said that. You wouldn't just because some people are like,
Now back to the cheating.
no. What about me?
I know.
What about me?
No.
Like in terms of important element or the definition for me, it's about exchange of a balance of exchange. You got to be able to give and take. Like you can't be in a relationship where it's one-sided and I feel drained or the other person feels drained, because like it has to be some kind of
But do
mutual
you not
exchange
think
of
we
energy.
get there though?
Huh?
Do you not think we get there in relationships that we get complacent?
You do, but that's where the communication and all that comes into it later on. So I'm saying initially, like, and obviously this is through experience, just like in any relationship. I'm not even, see, you lot went romantic straight away. You know what I'm trying to say? Where I'm saying whether it's a business partner, in the workplace, like there has to be some kind of fair exchange. I got to be able to value you, you value me. We know what we're getting from each other. Because the moment I don't value you, that's when the other stuff starts.
It's true.
You know what I'm trying to say? But going back, communication. Let me check my list. You get me? Man's prepared and that. Acceptance, acknowledgement. So accepting the other person.
Yeah.
You're accepting yourself. You get me? For who you are. Respect, growth, honesty. So these are the elements within it, I feel. And now, Calvin.
Wait, okay. Is that an order? So just like
No.
So that's the
Communication. I was top of the list of that because like when you meet someone, if you ain't even able to communicate at the beginning, you're done for me, mate. Or you're gonna go down a path that's gonna be painful.
I don't think there's an order though.
That's what I'm asking. Is like, is there an order?
I don't actually think
like
there is. I just think that's your personal preference.
I think, what do you first do when you meet someone? You talk, you communicate. That's the first. What the other stuff you ain't gonna get to know till you start communicating and having something with them. In my opinion.
Yeah, the thing is, so if we're talking about what you should do and what you do.
Yeah, no, we're gonna get on to the real stuff after, bro. Don't worry, just calm down, my.
You didn't get that.
Calm
Very childish.
down.
You got it. She got it. You didn't get it. You didn't get it. But it's fine.
Okay. It's over my head.
Yeah. So no, what I'm saying is when you meet someone, what we do is one thing, and what we're supposed to do is another thing.
No, I got that.
And that's the no, that wasn't the joke.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
that flew.
yeah, but what I'm saying is, so those two elements is where the problem sort of takes off. So I notice a lot of people when they get together, it's more about how can I advertise myself to be something that's gonna get what I need from them. Whereas once you've gone through some stuff, you know, you've been through some stuff, then you know like what you need for yourself, and you know that there's things I need to do to this person in any regard, business, relationship, whatever it is, that I need to set in the first place, so that at some point I don't end up in a situation problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot of relationships are built on false pretenses. So the communication, the honesty, the you know, the valuing yourself and the valuing them, because you're saying something that you're not to these people, and that's the problem. You're saying, look, you know, like a lot of people on dating sites. I know a couple of guys on dating sites, and I know they're short, and they put that they're taller. You know why? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't value yourself, and then you don't value the other person.
It's cheap thrills, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying, and that's what everyone's looking for in these early days.
The funny thing is, I writ that stuff down. In terms of, so I writ down what it should happen in hindsight, because I've been through or been in a relationship. I've had these, and then exactly what you kind of basically just said is what. I put down what actually happens. My thing of where, you're trying to, like most people, they try to change someone.
We all do that though.
I wouldn't try to do. I wouldn't.
It's not intentional.
I think it depends on how old you are as well. Like, because a lot of us, if we're talking about, we've learnt from our mistakes, hence why we can talk how we're talking now. It wasn't like that at the beginning. You get me? A lot of relationships was based on sex. That was my other thing. Straight away, you're jumping into sex, or you're jumping into something without knowing the person, without actually talking. That's why I kept going back to communication. Like, what are you about? Because you can learn a lot of stuff just by talking to someone, but the moment you're having sex, or you're living with them, you already had a baby with them, you move with them, the pain comes. You know what I mean? So that goes with what you were saying, kind of. But yeah, what do you reckon?
No, I think you're right. I just think we all get complacent, and I think we all get to a point of we want to change somebody in the beginning. It's like we've got with you, we like you, but then it's like, but if you just do this little thing over here, you could be a better person. I think we have to go through all these traumas, these trials and tribulations to realise and actually respect and appreciate the person for who they are. I think when we're young and dumb and naive, like my first relationship, I used to dress to the nines. I got with this guy, and man's like, I don't like what you're wearing. I don't like what you're wearing. I didn't clock until after we split up that I'd actually changed the way that I was dressing to please that person. And it was like, well, why the fuck did I do that? Like, I was happy dressing how I wanted, and then you've come along and you changed my mindset.
Okay, let me jump in on that. So, you see, when we change people, often it comes from a position of fear. So, I can relate to that guy, because again, when we have relationships, there's no work done behind the scenes before you even get in a relationship, let alone like any work done with the partner, with the person, to even understand like why they did it. I was him, and I did it out of insecurity. I did it out of fear that you would appeal to other guys.
Yeah, that is what his problem was.
Yeah. So he hasn't addressed that. He doesn't know that he has abandonment issues. He has a low value of self. So the easiest thing for me to do is to restrict you, so that when you're dressing up, you don't dress up. So no one's really. I'm trying to limit your exposure to other guys, because I don't think that you're gonna stay. I'm insecure that you're staying. So, but without any sort of therapy, any sort of learnings, he's not gonna realize that's why. So then he's not gonna be able to work on what's got him acting up. Because think about it, if I've got a hot girl, then why can't she dress hot? That's what I want, right?
Yeah.
So, but I have to be strong enough, within myself to allow that to happen. If I can't, it's like if I met a stripper at work while she's at work, could I be strong enough to be with her and she goes to work every night?
Yeah, I don't think I could do that, but I get what you're saying.
I'm not saying you're.
No, I get what you're saying. I think it's that whole thing. We all have that fear factor.
Yeah, but that's because it's nothing to do with your partner.
It's my insecurity.
Yeah, it's your own insecurity that's got you bugging out, and that's the problem with most relationships. A lot of people have baggage that they haven't addressed, don't even realize they have, and they bring it into a relationship with someone else, and then they're confused why, 6-7 months down the line. Because bear in mind, in the first period, one thing about guys is, when we getting to know you, we don't give a flying fuck about you. We don't give a fuck. All we want to do is fuck. Like, all we want to do is fuck. All right, wait, hold on. I'm not representing all men, but most men. So then there's no feelings. That's why most girls, after about 5-6 months, they catch up with them like, oh, I feel like you don't care. It's like, I don't. I had no intention of caring. I don't want to care. I want to smash. I want you on the roster, and that's it. As cold as that sounds. But women tend to get more emotional early on, but the difference is when a man gets emotional and gets in that, we're fucked. We go hard, and that's why men get the way that they get so quickly. So you for instance, how long was you seeing this guy before, when you was dressing however you wanted?
I was with him for a good 3 months.
Okay, so within that 3 months, when did it turn that? So, sorry, within the period of you knowing him, when did it turn to where he said, yo, what you're wearing, I don't really like that?
When it came to carnival.
But no, but what I mean is
no, that is when it started.
But I don't know the time frame. So when
we was together for
in the summertime.
We was together for a year.
Okay.
But as soon as carnival started to approach, and I wanted to go out, it was string vest time then, and your little crop top underneath and your little short skirts. That's my thing. That's what I was wearing.
Yeah.
And as soon as he clocked that, you want to go to carnival and you're gonna wear that, that's when he was like, do you have to wear that? Yeah. Have you thought about putting on a different top?
And that's when
it happened. But the thing is, I was young in it, so how they like to say there's different.
So how old was you? Sorry,
I was 16 at the time.
Okay.
There's different relationships in it. So your first one is you high school crush, then you've got the one that's a lust thing, and then it's your relationship that's meant to make you hurt and feel something, and then the last relationship should be the one that comes out of nowhere, it's unexpected, and that's supposedly true love in it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He was that guy that I was like, I like you, you're my first boyfriend. So whatever he kind of said kind of went, but I didn't realize it. It wasn't until I left because he tried to do the emotional blackmail. Don't leave me. Every time I was like, do you know what, this ain't working, we're on 2 different pages. He'd be like, don't leave me, you can't, if you leave me, I'm gonna jump in front of the train. Bruv, what the fuck are you doing? What are you talking about? You're gonna jump in front of a train? Hello, no, don't do that.
Call his bluff.
Listen, I did that to one guy, please. I got in trouble for that too.
He jumped?
No, the guy rang me and was like, I can't believe what you've done to me. I'm gonna go drink and throw myself in front of a bus. I was like, cool, do your thing in it.
A bus?
So how did you get in trouble?
Because the next morning I rang and he answered the phone, and I was like, so you didn't do it then? So why the fuck did you phone me and tell me you're going to do it? And then, I had the whole family you're rude. How can you do that?
His family?
Yeah, I was like, bruv, don't ring my phone and tell me you're going to do something.
And you don't do it.
I was like, I told man to do it, innit?
Big man, you chat shit, innit?
That happened to me in school,
You jumped in front of a bus?
No, come on. I think I went out with a girl for about 2 days. But you feel like it was a week, but it was like 2 days, and basically it was weird, innit? I went to go and check. I wanted a brethren, innit? But when I got there now, she
Why
pushed
did
the
you
other
man do
girl.
that?
She pushed the other girl in the way. I was a different youth. Them time I was a shy youth. I weren't really, because I'm gonna get onto something you guys were talking about
Cheater
before.
McCheaty over here is judging you.
Fine, man. It's
I don't
fun.
understand.
It's fun. It's open. It's all that.
No, I just don't
men-
get why men do that.
Do
Like,
what though?
I'm gonna try and move to you, but I really want
No,
your
no,
bridging.
no, 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 no. It wasn't even like that. I was
Oh.
going for the bridging. So
And
when
she-
I was gonna make my move, my girl's like, my bridging likes you. You get me? But I never had the minerals then to go like, but I like you though. But I looked at the bridge and I said, all right, do you know what? I can work with this. You get what I'm trying to say? Because man was like 14. Yeah, 13, 14 them times there.
You've been a whole.
So I was shut the. I was trying to, you know what I mean, solidify the thing, the early days. So she put the bridging in the way. So I said, okay. To be fair, this is an easy one. So I never even got there. Like the dad was racist basically because there's a white girl there still.
Racism doesn't exist.
All the black girls turned on me in the school. Like it's nuts. So that's another story. So I was like, nah, I need to get rid of this cat. You get me? So when I dumped her now, brethren come the next day. Oh, my girl, she had to kill herself. And da-da-da. So I just said, so what? She kept me. I kept bopping to school. You get me? And I'm not proud of that, but to me, I felt I was always sensitive to manipulation still. So I was thinking, that. Like, I went out with you for like not even a week, man, and now you're telling me you're trying to kill yourself over me. Like, come on, man, you get me? No. So I wasn't having it. But yeah, like it's nuts. But going back to something you guys were saying, that I was a people pleaser in a relationship. So where you're saying my man's trying to control, I was like, yeah, go. And you could get done that way. You understand? Given too much rain. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you get done that way. Like, you're not people that, oh, you know, he's easy going. I'm just going to take advantage. So there ain't no way in it. So you look like you resonate with that. Is that what is going on?
Yeah, because I've kind of been in quite a few of those positions in it. So it's been a case of, I'm one of those, do your thing in it. I'll meet you in the middle. And I kind of said that of do your thing. And that's when I got burnt.
That's a broad statement. Do your thing, though. I'm not going to lie.
When I say do your thing, I don't mean go out there and...
But you didn't explain
lead
that though.
with the world and its wire.
But this is the problem when people like
Communication.
no. See, you know the funniest thing is I look at it like this, right? In a lot of relationships, like when you just get into a relationship, there's some general unwritten code that you're supposed to follow these particular rules and regulations. But that's a general sweeping statement. Where's the specific between you and me? That's what's very
To
important.
be fair, I think I just didn't say it because I had 3 jobs at the time in it. So you do your thing, I do mine. When I've got time off, we'll link up and do what we have to do.
How old was you then?
I was 18.
Yeah, them time if a woman told me or a girl told me do your thing, I'm gonna do my. Look, let me not lie to myself. I would have done my thing anyway, but you gave man.
I was waiting for you to clarify.
Yeah, like,
gave
don't
man
get
the
me wrong.
card. You get me?
Yeah, I
Don't
have
judge me,
been
Kel.
told that in it. Like, I've had readings. Like, you're gonna think I'm some weirdo. I've had tarot readings in it. Yeah, and the lady literally said, "Do you not think what you did was kind of an open invitation?" I was like, "What are you talking about? How you can tell me it's an open invitation?" And she was like, "You're being deluded now because you literally gave an open invitation. You was the one that started the cheating. You're then saying do your thing." She was like, "So what do you expect someone to do?" I was like, "Do as I say, not as I do," in it. Like, come on, that's what I'm trying to say here. And she was like, "No, you're just being deluded. Like, you kind of gave open invitation." I was like, "Cool. I don't like you. Hurry up with the reading so we can move it along."
I heard that your ego.
Yeah, I was thinking that still, you know.
it's only the
You
ego.
as I say, not as I does.
See, the thing is, when you look at that situation, you cheated first, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what's your problem?
What was my problem?
Yeah.
I didn't even have a problem, in all honesty.
That's what I'm saying. It's just an egoic response.
It was just literally,
so you did it.
Do what I want, and you can't say nothing to me.
But when I do what I want, now you got a problem.
Yeah, I did. I had a really big problem.
See, you got very egoic. But that's a young thing, though. Yeah, it's a young thing.
Yeah, it was. I was young, dumb, naive. Like, okay, yeah, we had our first child.
Didn't you expect him to do that though? Like, in all honesty, like, not even a little bit of you was thinking, look, there's going to be some repercussions here. Like,
I did and I didn't. I think I sat on the fence of like, yeah, you might do it, you might not. And I think when it was done and how it was done, I think that's what hurt more than he actually done it.
You know, one of the things is like, it don't matter how many times you do something, it doesn't equate to one time they do it.
No, that's fair. I was thinking that myself, man.
It don't. That's the thing. I could do.
It's like man flu. Yeah. You know, like the way it's worse. Man.
Yes. You got it worse. You got man flu.
He was speaking before, innit? He was speaking before about like men being cold, innit, and we just wanting to fuck, and that takes a certain mindset, innit. Like I don't care about you, innit. Numb. It's a numb thing, innit. So when man does open, when a man does open, it's worse. It's like, now I've made everything's on you. Now I've given you. I'm vulnerable.
Yeah,
you can do me in now. Like, you get me.
I have been told that. I got told that. It was like, but I gave you me in it, and you kind of trashed it.
Wait,
and I was
are you saying about men?
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Like he literally said it in it. He was like, but I gave you me. I showed you my vulnerability, and you kind of shat on it.
You know what's mad? Yeah, is that I looked at something and I saw it recently. Is that you got one chance with men? Like, you got one chance. With women, you get several chances. You might not get the same intensity, but you'll get more chances. With men, like, if I tell you like, oh look, I cried, and you shit on that, I could be bleeding inside my chest and I'll never tell you again. You ask me how am I doing, I'll be like, fine.
Yeah, that's literally what I get.
Yeah, I'm fine. Everything's good. Everything's great. I'm perfect. You will never get that again. And the problem with men as well, that haven't had any therapy or having any way to open up to someone else about something, is that everybody will get that. I got burnt by the first person or the third person, whoever it is. Everyone after that gets it. Everyone else after that gets it. You get that straight, and that's the thing. And this is why when I say when it comes to communication, is that, you know, if I have not communicated that to myself and understand, okay, fair enough, like I was with so and so, and you know she pissed on me, but like she doesn't represent everyone. There's things I need to learn about myself, and if I meet if I meet another person, I need to see them for them. If I don't do that, then I will treat everyone the same, so every relationship will end up the same.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it's not even fully a conscious thing neither. Like, you might not even be realizing, they're just like, okay, boom, I'm gonna go around. You might think you're even being good in a relationship, but you've shut off certain doors within yourself. Like,
100%.
Yeah, she's like, why don't you? And it goes for women as well to a certain degree for different reasons. Like, say, like I've spoken to a lot of women that have been like abused in it, and yeah, that's a you know, I'm trying to say that's something where there's doors within them. A man ain't opening, and this is from young, innit?
But then I don't think it just sits there with like a relationship with a partner.
No, it's not.
I think that also comes from your parents.
Massively. Massively. That's where it all comes from.
Don't get me wrong, like in my household, communication is quite open, innit? So we always had a thing of, at dinner time, it was free speech. You say what you want. There is no repercussions of what you've said. You said it. Once you move from that table, don't think about it.
Are you saying now like how you're set up?
No, but that's how my setup is at home and with my children.
Okay,
and that's how I was brought up.
Oh, that's what I was getting to. Okay.
But there's also things like, there's certain situations that I know that I can't go to certain parents and be like, let's have this conversation, because you're not the one that's going to give me the response that I want to hear. And because that communication isn't there, it then becomes very strained in that situation. So there's certain things that's happened that I've gone to my mum and I've expected my mum to be like, yeah, I understand, and my mum just looks at me like, well, what do you want me to do? Like, I got into a really dark space, and don't ever get it wrong, I love my mum to pieces, and this is just her, because she likes to make light of a situation, because that's her coping mechanism. So when I got in the dark space and I'm there on the floor crumbling, she was like, well, I look good in black, let me know when I need to go out and get my outfit.
Mad.
Hey, whoa. That's what she actually said.
Yeah, that's what she said to
verbatim.
me. That is exactly what she said to me. And with that, I was like, this bitch is not having no satisfaction of getting up and buying a black outfit to go to my funeral. So I got up off that ground that day, and I fixed myself up. I dusted myself off, and I got on with what I needed to do. But if someone else was to hear that,
Well, you reckon that was reverse psychology?
no, that was just literally my mum.
Okay. I don't know. I thought about
That wasn't no reverse psychology. That was literally just my mum being my mum.
So I'm thinking, because you said that you grew up everyone being open. So I'm thinking, how come that was the environment, but then your mum is kind of that way too? Yeah, I don't know.
Because she's got her own issues to deal with, innit?
This is what it is.
She's got her own childhood issues that need to be addressed and need to be dealt with. And sometimes they don't consciously realize that they're bringing it towards us as their children. So when we're saying, let's have this open communication and let's be honest about things, there's certain things that need to be addressed that she hasn't dealt with herself.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Go on.
It's just to that point, because I had a conversation with someone the other day, and it like hit me. Do you feel like your mum was an older, like an older bitchy sister?
What do you mean when you say that?
Like
When she was growing
no,
up?
No. So like you're like, do you feel like your mum towards you was an older disgruntled sister? Like,
Nah,
yeah.
not at all.
Okay.
She was very much your mum and I'm the child.
Yeah, but if you think about like even that comment, like, oh, like I look good in black, is that something that a mum would say regardless?
No, it isn't.
So
I
so
don't
that's what I'm
feel
saying.
like it is something
Spiteful. That's the
I
fucking
just
word.
think-
It's not even that big.
I don't even think she was trying to be spiteful, in all honesty. I think she was just trying to make light of the situation because that is what she does. She tries to joke about everything. So I could be sitting here crying and she'd be like, look at all those tears, you're wasting them. And it'd be like, mum, like, I'm emotional here, I don't need that comment. But it's her way of dealing with it for herself because of whatever she's gone through, she's always made light of it.
See, and this takes me on to one of my other points in it. So obviously between you and your mum, that's a relationship, right? And you need something, but she only copes via that way, right? So like it goes kind of down the road of love languages in a sense. So your mum is showing you whatever, but she's unable to adapt to what you need. So she's not able to put herself second and be like, well, you need a hug right now, or you need a tissue right now. She's like, bants, and she's so where's the ability? That's why I say when you say that that's your mum, or is that that's more of a sister type mentality, like where I can sort of like bounce with you, whereas a mother should know exactly what you need. And that's why they say that grandparents make the best parents, because your parents are figuring this shit out.
I hear that. Do you know what it is, bro? Like, because my mum, I never even clocked it. I had a conversation with my mum. She said like, she never used to get hugs from her mother.
Yeah, that's
and
my
all
mum.
them type of things. So, and she said like, I never used to hug you guys, but I'm like, I don't remember that. But I grew up in a village, innit? So it's like it didn't matter. The other people kind of might have compensated for what she didn't do, kind of. So I wouldn't say it's like a bigger sister thing, like, because it's going back because I'm still fascinated by this like having this environment where you having an open conversation, that you feel free, anyone's able to say that. Like, did she set that up? Like,
I think it was, I think it was her and my dad, and it was their thing of like, it's now free time to talk, innit? We've all come together to have a meal, and it's now for everyone to speak, because I believe, from my understanding, when she grew up, there was never that. Like, there was never that kind of, we can sit down and talk. Like, I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. My granddad was literally, children should be seen and not heard.
Yeah. So, but the part where, like what Kelvin said about making herself, so she could take that, she got to the point where, like, I'm going to allow you to speak, but how I cope with that's a whole different story.
Yeah, it's a whole different story.
Yeah.
It's
I
something.
think it's just something to do with the fact that when she grew up, she was the eldest in the household. So she was the one that had to make sure everybody else was okay. And I think for her, she's always kind of been mother hen in it. So when she's had her own children, really and truly, like, this is a whole different ball game now. I used to look after my brother and sister. I gave them back. They're now my children. I don't give them to nobody. They're my responsibility. Yes, we got the love. We got the hugs. She told us she loved us. Don't get me wrong. But it was just, she got ill. And I think for her, when she got ill, the best way to cope about being ill was to laugh it off.
Yeah. We all do that in our own ways, though.
Yeah.
So by laughing it off, she's now used that coping mechanism to deal with every other situation in life.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I'm not criticizing your mum. She does what she has to do in it. But I'm very aware of the trauma that they pass down.
Yeah, definitely.
So, some of the things they do and some of the things they don't do, they weigh heavy on us. So we end up doing certain things, and like, some girls who have father issues, daddy issues, whatever, some of them will be like, they will overcompensate by making themselves very available to men. And others will be like, fuck men, you know what I mean? And both of them are justified, but not necessarily right, because they're not your true manifestation of your internal feelings. They're just how you coped with not having. It could even be a big brother who wasn't around, who didn't show you, and your dad was around, but your brother wasn't. Because you're looking for love from that guy, so your value's now in the one who doesn't give a fuck, and that's the problem. And us as men, one thing I realize is that our mothers are the first heartbreak, based on what they've done to us as growing up.
Yeah, facts.
When you look at like how your mum treated you growing up, you might have had a younger brother. Like I had a younger brother. My mum blatantly favors him more than me, and that's cool, because I had two big sisters. You know what I mean? So I got a lot of affection and understanding from them. They're like my older brothers and sisters. So I got a lot from them. So I never lacked in any realm, So when you go into relationships now with all these issues that you've gathered along the way, you're trying to build something, and then you end up, this is where the people pleasing comes from. And this is what I was going to ask you as well. You said you love your mum. Do you love your mum, or do you fear the loss of your mum?
No, I don't care for that bit.
You don't care for?
If I lost her, I don't mean it to come out like that.
I know what you mean.
But we've come to heads, and to be fair, if I don't talk to you, I don't talk to you, innit?
Yeah. See, then it's like, what we're really doing here. You know what I mean? Like, what's love?
Yeah.
What is,
Yeah, it's a hard one. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love her to pieces. Like, no one could come to me and say something about my mum, and I'm gonna sit there and go, yeah, that's cool. Like,
but why though?
Why?
Yeah, but why?
Why?
If you couldn't care less if she's like around.
Why do I
not,
love my mum? Because she's the only mother I've got. No matter what happens, like,
these are statistical.
that you're the only mum I've got in it.
But that doesn't mean nothing.
Because we are two different people, and there's times that we are quite similar. That's where we clash, and that's where I think it's okay to be like, you know what, you're annoying. Like, you stay over there, and I stay here.
No, but this.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. But it's like, there's stuff my parents they're different, but how can I say it, man? Like, they got their ways in it. They're the ways that annoy me. Like, it's just like we're different in it. But where I've got empathy, I understand them in it. I see there's parts of me in them, and then I see there's parts that they're just strange, and I'm like, do you know what? Similar to what you're saying, and like, not even like I'm someone I could just be. If I had to move across the country, it's not like they're gonna be, oh no, I need to talk to. I'm not that guy. Let me talk to my mum every week, every 2 weeks. If I can talk to my dad, like, if they're not in my life, I'm alright. Like, innit? You understand? But I still appreciate them. If that makes sense.
Appreciation is not love.
What is love then?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
what is? Because
I just feel like
love is different.
Love is love, bruv.
But
love is love. Like, see when you're talking about like your parents or just people in general, like I'm not hearing love. Like, I'm not. I don't know if you're hearing it, but I am not hearing love. I'm not hearing I love my parents. You know,
that's what I'm saying. I don't really work with the word love.
To be fair, quite a lot of people, after like what you said, quite a few of the people around me don't love their parents. It's just I love you in it for the sake of loving you.
It's a word.
I care about you.
Yeah.
I care about you. See, the thing is, a lot of people are in relationships and they don't love each other.
Oh, well, that's what I'm getting at.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Remember, you said it first that we've gone straight romantic with it, and then you said it's relationships, right? So I'm saying relationship. So love is love, right? So love should be the same across all the boards. You know, it shouldn't mean any different.
Well, remember we had the conversation about, okay, the way you feel about your children is not going to be the same way you feel about your parents or about your partner. So it's like there's obviously a different dynamic within that. Now, when I think about love, the way it's been presented to me is this Disneyland thing. Oh, I'm in love with you, or with your parents, you're meant to kind of,
It's
I
like
don't
love
know.
and care. It's love and care.
Yeah.
You know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. It's, I'm used to. Like, as long as I've been here, they've been here. And I'm used to them being here. And it's the thought, when you think about the thought of them not being here, that's what triggers you. That's what triggers your emotions.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But it's not that, like, I care about my parents, but do I love my parents? I can't honestly say I do.
What do you love then?
That's what I'm saying. So I put love down to, so you have one cup and you can only fill it with one emotion. And if in that cup is fear, I don't love you. I cannot love you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
With my kids, I love my kids. I don't fear them in any way. In any way. If my daughter come to me and says, Dad, I want to travel around the world and I want to see certain things and I want to do certain things, I'd be like, so we need to start saving and we need to put some money away and we need to make sure that we can do these things. You know what I mean? And I'd want the best for her. My son, the exact same thing. I want the best for you. Let's go and make this happen. But if my girlfriend said the same thing, I'd be like, whoa, wait, hold on a second. There's a potential chance something could happen. Like in terms of you might meet, you know what I mean? And once that kicks in, once that second thought, it might not be the first thought. You might be like, yeah, like you should definitely do that. But you don't verbalize it. I don't love you because I'm now afraid that you could do something to me.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And even though it's a subconscious thought, that taints it.
You know what's mad?
That's quite deep.
There's attachment.
You're welcome.
There's attachment, and then there's unconditional love.
Yeah.
What you have for your children's unconditional love. So there's no conditions, there's no boundaries set on it. Yeah.
No.
A lot of people get them mixed up.
Straight.
There's attachment. Like, so I'm attached to you, like, for whatever reason it may be. Like you said, I'm a parent.
Attached.
My girlfriend, we have
Attached.
children together, all these. And I remember reading that and I was like, rah, that's for a lot of relationships. And that, how many people would you let be free, like, to hurt you?
To potentially, yeah.
Yeah. Like, where you wouldn't. So in reality, now when you said about the children thing, that's the only person or people. No, but I feel like about my grandparents and stuff like that, like where, like, I think this goes back to that love language thing as well. But it's with different people, it kind of changes because you can't compare a romantic relationship. Like there's certain things you want from a certain person because of that relationship you have with them. With your mother, there's love language between you two.
Pause 1 second. Hold that.
Yeah.
Like when you went to your mum and you had that moment, you expected her to do something.
I expected her maternal instinct to kick
You
in.
expected her to do something. There's conditions
But
there.
then
There's
that's the
conditions
issue
there.
that we
So
have.
the funny thing is that if you had unconditional love, she could make the joke and there'd be no situation.
Yeah, definitely. But I think we all have that thing where we have an expectation of somebody, which we have to learn not to have.
But it's not that you can not expect or whatever, because that's how we sort of get through life. Like I expect my car to drive.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, but we have to learn when it comes to people not to have that expectation of them. We've got to take them at face value. Like you are you and I am me, innit?
That's what I said.
That's literally it,
Exactly.
innit?
And that's where love comes in.
Yeah, but I think it takes a long time for you to realise that. And I think you have to go through shit
and then
to realise that,
and
to
that's
understand
that's when you start to pick
that
it up.
the person or whoever it is that you're with or around, that is them, innit? You take them at face value. Like, yes, my mum said what she said, so you know what, take it on the chin. But other people, would look at my mum and be like, oh my God, you're damn right rude. Is that what you said to your child?
But you thought it too.
Yeah, I did think it was rude.
And that's,
and it was just like, oh, you're rude. Like, how can you say that to me? But at the same time, I brushed it off because it's who she is.
No, but you brushed it off because that's who you are.
Yeah, but it's also because of who she is.
But more because of who you are.
That's her thing. She's going to say it regardless whether I like it or not. I could walk into my mum's house today and have on an outfit and she'd be like, did you look in the mirror? Yeah, I did.
Great.
Like, and your point is,
I feel like we should get your mum on this podcast. She sounds hilarious.
She's like, I don't like that. Well, I didn't ask you, did I? Like, I put it on because I thought I looked nice in it, not for you.
And that would come where you believe in yourself. So that's a strong point for you to have, where you be like, oh, I'm wearing this clown outfit. You know, it's cool.
Self-love.
Clown outfit.
I'm with your mum on this. I'm with your mum on this. But no, but see, where, like, that's where, once you got self-value, because this is one of the things I told my niece when she was growing up. I said, be the best you can be. You know, don't join the army, but like, be the best that you can be. Like, so that you can meet someone and they don't have to be anything, and you can be with that person. You can meet a homeless guy on the street and you can be with him because you are adequate enough in your own world. Most of these relationships are coming from, you know, half a person trying to meet half a person to make a whole person. Nope, you just got 2 half people fucking around.
But that's where they're going into trying to change someone kind of kicks in as well. Like, in order for me to feel this way.
But then the question I have, are we trying to change them because that's what we want to be?
Part of it.
Possibly, yeah.
Part of it.
But it's a perception though, isn't it? It's like, okay, someone like, I need money to make me feel complete. It's that sort of thing, innit? And then you get there, you're like, oh, I'm empty still. And then, because like the other way around is like, okay, like I said, people pleasing the way I don't want to enforce myself on someone because they might run away, sort of vibration where that's not love.
No,
there's no love in that situation because you're like, if I do this, oh, they're gone.
That's what I said earlier, isn't it? About you might do something or you might not do something.
But I like what you said about kind of, and that's what I put in when I said about acceptance and acknowledgement of who that person is. And if I can still, now you could say tolerance, but I could say, do you know what? I love my dad and I love my mum from a certain angle. It's not Disneyland love, but there's like, yeah, genuinely, I remember I got feelings in my heart that go, do you know what? There's things about you that I like, I'm the same. You know them elements. So I could say I love myself. The parts I love about myself, they're the same. I love that. Does that make sense to you?
I hear what you're saying.
I know you're still saying it ain't love, but I'm just saying. I know that's what you're saying.
But then, that's you.
Yeah.
And that's
exactly.
That's 100% correct. To me, I like that.
I only like that about myself.
You know what I mean?
I like that about myself.
I like that.
All right. See, remember when I said that time and I was like, oh, yeah, you and your dad laughed the same. You get me? Because I never, like, it was weird one time. He was on the phone. Now, yeah, I was with him driving. Yeah. He was driving and then his dad was on the phone. And the way they laughed, I was like, raw. Like, they had the exact same laugh, the way it cooled down and that. It was like an engine, like, you know, when it broke down and that. It was mad. So I was like, raw, like. And then even when he takes his thing off and the shape of his face is weird, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm just a petty you, innit?
My face is weird.
Yeah, no, like, no, it's weird. It's weird that you guys are proper got weird. the same. No, because I don't see my man a lot, innit? Yeah. So I've been seeing your face, but seeing the older version of you kind of, it's weird to me, innit?
Yeah, like, I know what you're saying, because that would be like, if I did bring my mum here, me and my mum would say the same thing.
Okay.
And we would probably say at the same time and then go, oh, why did you copy me? Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, we all have those traits and we all accept them for those things because that is parts of us, innit? Like, I love myself because, yeah, that is something that my mum's given me. Like, if I sit here and I spoke to my daughter, it's like talking to myself. And then I have to sit there and think, like, I don't like you today because you're saying the shit. I'm thinking it and you're now saying it.
It works both ways.
Yeah.
It works both ways. That's true.
But again, back to the point, like, this, you're just saying, like, yeah, well, me and my parents are similar.
No, like, I know, but I'm saying I'm petty, bro. Like, I like there's people. How can I say? Like again, I'm only speaking about myself and how I see things and feel things. So, like, I've had friends because they make me laugh. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So this is the lighter side. I like you because you make me laugh. Just that aspect. The rest of you, I don't really deal with you. But that one part, I appreciate a lot.
Key word you just said was like.
No, because I'm using my friends, innit?
Yeah.
I'm using my friends. But when it comes to my parents or even my grandparent, my family, I'm like, I really, really appreciate and love that about you because I wouldn't be who I am without those. Now, you can see that again as not love, but I'm saying it is to me.
Yeah, I hear what you say. That's more, for me, like, again, I just interpret it. As soon as you start talking, I'm like, all I hear is this, and you say like, oh, well, you know, I love that about you because it's like, you know, it's like, I appreciate that, and it's like big you up for like busting me on it.
But that's what I'm trying to say. To be real, you've got a thing against the word in itself. You got a problem with the word love.
I have a problem. Listen, it's not therapy for me today, yeah?
Yeah, it is. You're trying to do it to everyone else.
No, what it is now?
Yeah, I mean,
what it is with love is it's that my thing with love is it's the same with God, you know. So when we say love, when we say love or we say God, we just know that we're talking about a specific thing in it. So if I say God, you might say universe, you might say, you know, what one of these God's names, yeah. So when it comes, but I know, I feel that a lot of people throw that word out.
Have you ever loved your mum then, or your dad? Could you say that? Have you ever?
Honestly, I can't say I have. I've been infatuated with my dad, and I've been dependent on my mum. Yeah, like I consider my mum to be like, my mum's always there. Like, my mum's always there. And the worst thing about when someone's always there is you don't even value that.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm just like, so Christmas time, like my mum would say to me, go to your dad and like get something from, like, get him to buy some shoes and whatever. And I'd be very hesitant. I'd be like, oh man, why can't you just do it? Because you do it. You know what I mean? I go to my dad, and my dad's like, boy, you know, blah, blah, blah. And it's hard. It's a struggle for him somehow. You know what I mean? So I can't honestly say that I love my parents. I like them. Like you said, you heard me and my dad. We're cool, we chill, we chat shit, we laugh and joke and that.
Do you feel like you don't like using the word love or the idea of it because you've been burnt?
Nah, I don't like using it because it's a word that when you say it, you should mean it and you should know what it means when you say it. So I got no problem saying it to my kids. Not one bit. Like, I have no problem. But I'm not gonna say it out there for the sake of saying it. People use it too much, and I feel like people use that word for no reason. And I know guys who've used that word to girls as well early on just to make things happen. So for me, I feel like the word's been burnt. You know? I feel like, who is that? Oh, that's me again. We'll continue. So yeah, like, I feel like it's a situation where the word's been burnt too much, and that for me is the reason why I don't like using it. I don't like it being used. You know, it's just one of those things. It's just constantly used.
So how would you like someone to say that they care about you then?
Now, you can tell me you can tell me you love me. You can actually tell me you love me. But I need to see that. I need to see in you first. I need to see you love you. I need to see that you love, you know?
Yeah.
Rather than you being like, because I tell you what, I need you to not need me. I need you to want me. If I feel like you need me, you devalued the love again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Financially, emotionally. If you got your shit together, I'm cool with that. But if you're one of the people, it's like anything. If, like, I've had this conversation before where someone could come to you and be like, I'm going to tell you my deepest, darkest secret. And you're like, shit, this person really, like, leveled with me. Told me back when they were 6 and something bad happened. And it's like, cool. And it's like, when I was 6, something happened to me, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, wow, that's deep, you know, that person really leveled with me. You know, that's something that I'd never tell someone, blah, 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 blah. And you walk into a sweet shop and then she goes, can I get a pint of milk? When I was 6, you're like, wait a minute. You're telling the shopkeeper the same thing. That's mad. These times I dropped a bomb to you that's deep to me, but you're just dropping. This is how you say hello to people. And that's how I see things in it. So I'm saying right now, if that's the case, like I need to, like for me, I need to see
All right.
love.
I'm gonna put it this way. What about your siblings?
What about them?
It's the shit, because
Sorry, I didn't even mention them, but yeah, say
yeah, because you used. Because I'm just trying to differentiate like a romantic partner, because then you're just talking about a potential partner or partner, where with your family it's different. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like,
Sorry.
it's not the same love.
For me, it is.
I was about to say his definition of love is not ours.
Yeah. So for me, it is. So for me, it's the same thing. So for me, like I don't need you to love me. That's the thing as well. I don't need you to love me. In order for me to love you, I don't need you to love me. For me, that I love you because I love you. You know.
Yeah.
So with my with my siblings as well, like it's the same thing. They say something's going down. I'm there. Like I'm there for it. I'm backing it all the way. I don't fear them in any way. You know what I mean? And it might sound like a bit of an easy way out, like, but that's for me. That's it. So like when you're in a relationship, say like for instance, keep it easy.
So why do you fear your parents then?
Well, I don't fear them. I just don't love them.
Because I'm saying, what's the difference between your siblings and your parents?
I just don't. I don't love them.
Okay.
No, he's like those people that don't use the word sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. You know what's it called? There's people out there that won't apologize in it because
Nah, you misjudge me. I'll say sorry all the time.
no, there's people that you see how you're saying that you don't use the word love like that. There's people that won't use the word sorry because it kind of, I'm saying sorry because I'm saying it for the sake of saying sorry. They don't mean, but that's what I'm trying to say in it. Like when he's asking you about like, do you love your siblings? Do you love your mum? And you're like, no, I like them.
Yeah.
That is the same as someone that doesn't say sorry in it. Like you could sit here and you could hurt me and I could sit here and be like, oh my God, you really hurt me. I'm emotional. And you just go, okay, sorry. Because you think by saying it, we've squashed the argument, we've squashed the beef, it's done and dusted.
No.
Other people out there won't say sorry at all because in their opinion, I'm just throwing it out.
No. That's a no.
I just feel like, that word, and I've got words like that in terms of that. It means nothing to me. Even the word love, like I would say, remember I used it the other day. I don't use that, you understand? But I say it when I mean it. You understand what I'm saying? And that's because
that's fine.
When how can I say that? Even if you burnt me, it doesn't mean I don't love you. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Because I understand what's going on. So that I was just trying to differentiate, how, okay, you say you like your parents, and then you, but you can say you love your siblings, and I'm saying they're all family, innit? At the end of the day. So what is it about? What's your parents? What's the difference? Do you know what I'm trying to say? What is the difference? Because they're just people that are here, innit? That are meant to be your family. So that I'm trying to see the difference. Like your children, I get that. That's a deeper connection. That's you, innit? But you could have come and you met your sisters here and you met your parents here. So what's the difference? Why do the parents get the like and then the siblings get the love?
With the difference in those is literally like what the expectation. Like as a kid, I did expect certain things from my parents, and I didn't get them. I got the lessons. My lessons were learned by what not to do, because they did what not to do, and I'm not gonna pretend like I'm over it. I'm over it.
No, fair enough.
So I don't understand. I'm not gonna be here and be like, I understand my parents, and I understand, that they didn't have certain things growing up and whatever, and because as far as I'm concerned, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like,
do you feel like men have, I shouldn't use the word hatred, but a bigger issue when their needs are not met by their parents than how women do?
I think if in my realm, my dad let me down.
Okay.
My dad let me down massively. You know what I mean? Like, and that's he had one job. He had one job. I don't really care what else you got going on. You had one job and you didn't. So for me, there was a lot of learning. Like even from Curtis, like I learned a lot from Curtis.
Mm.
and I had to outsource a lot of male learning from other people. So yeah, it kind of, because what you have to understand is this, and well, you don't have to understand anything, but what I'm gonna say is this, and it is that, especially being around three women, there's a lot of emotions there.
Yeah.
Tied with male strength. That's why there's a lot of bullshit on the streets right now, because a lot of guys are acting out physically what they emotionally felt. So if like more time you'll hear a man say, yo, I feel like my man disrespected me, you know. Now he's doing physical things about that because he has the male strength to go with it. But when you got a man raised by a man and he can keep his emotions in check, then he understands. When I did mixed martial arts, before I did mixed martial arts, any opportunity, I'm running my mouth and I'm trying to start something. Any opportunity. But the stronger I got in mixed martial arts, the less I did. To the point where I'm ignoring a guy in my face. And that's when you got that strength, that discipline. But that's got to be taught to you. That's got, you know, and that's got to come from another man. You know, my mum can teach me how to do certain things, like within the feminine energy, but she can't do it with the male energy. So that's why I can't say like I love my dad, because for me, he didn't love me. You know what I'm saying? He didn't love me.
He didn't make you that priority.
No. Like there's like since we're sharing, like, so one of the things that, so me and my dad, we caught up one time, and I stuck it on him. I said to him like, yo, so I've got a cousin the exact same age as me, and my dad fathered him. Not wait, hold, pause. He didn't have sex with your sister.
I understood what you meant. It's cool. I understood what you meant. I think you've got that.
I got to clarify. I bought a sign there. Banner just going past my head. Nah, my dad. Even to the point, my dad used to look after him more. My dad took over his football team. You know what I mean? Because he's culture, and like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And then me, I'm like the tag along. So I'm like, oh, so he's doing these things with my cousin and that. So I'm joining that team. You know what I'm saying? So for me, the thing that the kicker was that it's not even like you didn't know what you was doing. You did it with the wrong kid. It's mad. So now I love you. Nah, bro. Yeah. We're cool, but I can't love you.
I see you, brother.
I understand
I see you. And the conversation we had the other day about this, basically the same situation on your mother, like from the mother's side, is this. So I get you. I get you. It's nuts for me. Like, it's weird. Like with the same thing to a certain degree. Like with my dad, certain things with my mum. That expectation, that love language as a parent should have to a child, like what you didn't even know you needed that till kind of after. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because till you saw the damage.
Yeah.
You know them ones, they're like, raw.
It's not even that they saw the damage. It's like when you're going through this, it's like a lot of relationships where you're telling yourself that this person's the one for you. You know what I mean? They say, this person's the one. This person's the one for me. But you've hidden all of the things that are not the one for you. You know, that's what it is with your parents. Where my dad went around, when I saw him, it's like, yo, dad. You know what I mean? But had he been like around, I would have seen him from what he was. You know what I'm saying? And then that's what kind of dimmed my mum's light a little bit, where I'm looking at my mum like, you know, of course you're gonna be, like, you know what I mean? Like, so again, I appreciate my mum for what she done. My mum worked 2 jobs. You know what I mean? She done a lot. She raised 4 kids. You know what I mean? And we didn't really want for much. You know, but in terms of like, you know, that balance, it weren't there.
It's nuts. I was raised by, like, you know, my grandparents a lot, and when I say raised, it's like weekends. This is my dad's parents there. The way I see and feel about them is different to my parents.
No, that's understandable.
And that's because of that unconditional consistency. So, and that's why, like, even when I say, like, love can be anything, like, because love can be attention to some people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? But I saw consistency as love. I'm like, till now, I'll still go shopping. I used to go shopping from when I was 5. I'll go shopping with my grandmother. every Saturday, or we change the weekend. I used to go and pick her up till it got to the point I drove and I pick her up.
Yeah.
And she just kept the same energy.
Mm.
There was reasons why, as well, dysfunctional reasons why from her perspective. But as far as a youth, I just received that as this person, no matter what, is here for me.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, like when you, like you said, when you start seeing the person for who they are, it's weird. Like I remember I spoke to my half brother.
Yeah.
Because my dad had another family and whatnot, and I thought they got all the good stuff. These times, I remember we met as big men, innit? They found me on Facebook and and he said, nah, bro, this and that happened. And I'm like, nah, that's because of my mum. Why this and that happened. And I'm like, so what you saying? I dodged the bullet. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and yeah, it's just about learning not to worship people. I started to see, I remember when I became a father, I said, this guy is the same as me. So that stuff I had on him, I'm like, you're just a human being, bro. Do you get what I mean? But the hindsight I've got is that I've learned off your fuck ups.
Yeah.
So I can be the man that I can be now. And that's why I said, yeah, like as much as like I can use it, I can separate, I can use different words, appreciation, I watched your life, innit, and saw where you messed up, like, and that helped me. And there's better ways of doing it, but I still appreciate that. You understand? I wanted to use the word love for that, but I was like, okay, so I just see you for who you are. My expectations dropped. And that's a bad thing as well. When your expectations drop.
That's what I'm saying.
Boom.
Yeah, there's no respect there. There's no respect.
So if there's no respect, how can there be love? I can't respect, you know. So I'm saying, there's so many things going on, like, and say like it's almost like you're coming around to my way of thinking. You see what I'm saying?
No, I always felt that way, but it's what you were saying, how you were saying it before, innit? Like that, where I just wanted to. As soon as you said certain things,
but you see how like you lot have. I don't even know if I should use the word issues, but there's certain things like, you know, your dad did whatever he did and your dad did, like, when you actually, did you ever approach them to say like, these are the things? So when you had that conversation, how did that make you feel?
You want to go first?
Yeah. What was weird is that I tried to save my father's relationship with my siblings, first and foremost, because they was wilding out. Like, I had a bit of time with him where I remember my parents being together.
Oh, okay.
They separated when I was 5. So I remember it looked like love when I was the only child them times there.
Yeah.
So I was a whole different regime. My siblings never got none of that. So like they feel differently. Like, you get what I mean? Like they feel how my man proper feels, you get me? Or maybe worse. Okay. Like they don't give a, like, so I saw that and I'm like, nah, this is, you need to at least know the guy.
Yeah.
Even if you don't feel nothing for a man, know the person so you can know yourself to a certain degree, because that's a tragedy to me. But there was times where like I tried to do the fake thing, innit?
Yeah.
And be around man, and then he was talking.
That's it.
And I'm like, he's chatting wet.
That's it.
Like, nah, he's chatting bare wet. He's chatting about his next family or his other youth.
Or some film he watched or something like that.
So then it happened twice. I used to go around because he had his missus there and this, that. We used to just chat, like surface convo and bust joke and
You could feel it, innit?
Yeah, no, that was how it was, innit? But it was, I was just happy because there was, I've never, there's so much to it anyway, man. I'm gonna get into it, like, but when I proper put it on him, I come with a surface talk first, innit? And then I just sort of, like carbon monoxide, I come and slid up, you get me, past his ego. And before, like, his missus kind of clocked what was going on, you get me? She just dispersed from the room. And I just told him what I actually felt, like, proper felt, everything that was on my chest that I thought, and I let it out. And he was crying, but what happened is he started telling me about his relationship with his father and his parents.
See, and that, for me, I don't give a fuck.
I know that. No,
right, wait, let me clarify that. It's not that I don't give a fuck, but that was for you to fucking deal with.
Do you feel like that was their excuse?
See, the thing is, like, now imagine if I did the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even feel like I have the opportunity to even do the same thing. Like I constantly evaluate myself as a parent.
Because you
know?
want to do better.
I have to do better. I don't have the choice. Like, if you think you have a choice to like, well, you know, I can kind of like dial this in. You fucked up. This is what people don't understand. So I understand other people's traumas are more intense or whatever, but to everybody, like it's the same pain. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter. Again, like you cheated, for instance. We're gonna get back to that as well. You know? But like, for instance, you cheated, but when he cheated, it hurt you, but you hurt him. You know, it's the same pain. So what I'm saying is like, you're a parent, and you've got to take the worst thing is, here's the worst thing. My dad came from a 2-parent background.
Okay.
And
So what went wrong?
All of his brothers had wives.
Oh.
About maybe one, I think one of his brothers like didn't get married. He's a bachelor still. But everyone else, married, kids, house, everything. My dad, like, now he's like, I see that works. Let me try this instead. You know what I'm saying?
See, I feel like, no, I'm not even to defend my man, but I think there's a lot more to it than that. But I don't know man's life, innit?
But that's the
to
thing,
me,
but-
there's a lot more to it than that. Why a man would maneuver a certain way, like, and we don't know the small details in a man's life that can change their whole dynamics of how they operate and move. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, 100%.
So what you're saying, like,
I don't know. I actually don't know.
that's what I'm saying. Where
But the thing is, I'm saying right now you got kids. So now whatever you're doing, I mean, don't get me wrong, that you can have kids and still like have a period of time where you're still fucking up. Like I get that. But there comes a time when you got to start looking at yourself as a parent and be like, wait a minute. Yeah, I got to pattern this differently because it's not really going too well here. You know what I mean? Even if the kid's like up to about 3 years old, because you know what's mad? When I was a parent, bruv, do you think I filled in the application to send my daughter to school? If it weren't for her mum, she'd still be at home now, brother. I didn't know. But so when shit started getting real, I started paying attention, even down to like when I stopped hitting my kids. I was like, wait a minute, no, you can't keep hitting your kids. Like you got to change that, because if you keep hitting your kids, they're gonna think it's cool for people older than them to keep hitting them.
Yeah,
So
I tell my son that all the time.
Yeah, 100%. So you got to change your methods. You got to start explaining. If you can't explain yourself to your kids and why what they're doing is wrong or whatever, so on and so forth, then you need to learn something, because you can't just explain by beating them. Next thing you know, your kid, like me, I'm 6'7", bro. At what point, if I live with my dad, there's gonna come a time where, bruv, you can't pick up your hand because I'm gonna fight you back. So now how do you explain to me that I'm doing wrong? So so there comes a time you got to start learning and evolving. One thing I said to my daughter once is when you know she was kind of going for a bit of a change, you know, and like boys, or should I say, a boy came on the scene. I was like, you need to understand something. Like, this is my first time doing this. I've never done this before. So we need to do this together. So you need to tell me what's happening so that I can move on with, because I've changed your nappy. You know what I mean? You're that same baby to me. Now you're growing up, but my mind continues to look at you as a child, but you're a big girl now. So let's grow together. You know, so when something happens, let me know so that we can move forward with this thing. So that, you know, and that's how things are. Brother, I made sure daughter got a driving license immediately. You know what I mean? I'm here with you. We're growing together. You know, same thing with my son. We're gonna be growing together. That's because I pay attention to my kids. You know, I'm not saying that I've been perfect, but I've definitely done a lot more in terms of producing healthier kids or healthier young adults than my parents did.
You know what I was saying? Like you said, he didn't value maybe his parents.
He didn't value himself.